Hello and welcome back to my channel, Little Farm Homestead. My name's Amber and I haven't been on in a while. Took a little break and our family's been dealing with sickness this past week and a half or so. So this is the first day in a while that I've felt halfway normal, but I thought I would do a 2023 seed haul for our spring and summer garden. We have a pretty big garden space, but even with that, I think I went a little overboard with our seeds this year. But we do have some potted areas and raised bed areas on a different side of our property that we will do some of these items. We're doing lots of different varieties of tomatoes and cucumbers because that's one of my favorite things to grow. We love, obviously, the fresh vegetables, but we love pickles, and I'm going to be canning a lot of different tomato products this year, so I want a good variety. A lot of them are paste tomatoes for those canning projects. So if you hear the kids in the background, I have all three of my kids home because, like I said, we're getting over sickness and Kevin's home too. So I used 3 different seed suppliers this year. I did Southern Seed Exposure. I did M.I. Gardner. And I did Baker Creek. And I got one little pack from Seed Kingdom. And what else do I have? I think that's it. I think that's the last. And then I have a couple of straight neck squash that are from our local feed store in our area. And another thing I did was collect flower seeds from our local park. So I have quite a few of those that I saved and stored. So I'll be planting those along with some other flowers that we have. One thing that I'm going to be starting this year that is a first for us is asparagus, and it takes a good 5 years before you can use it. So finding a good spot for this is going to be interesting because we till and plow our fields here in this part of Texas. Our land is very flat and it floods, and so we need to have the mounds, which is why we make the rows. We do a lot of row planting. We do some bed planting, but we do a lot of rows. So that means things are tilled and replowed. There's a ton of farmers in this area. We live in a rural area, and we have lots of farmers that do cotton and corn and milo and okra and stuff like that. And that's just how it's done here because of the elevation and drainage and stuff. But we'll go through everything now. Okay, so for the first, we'll just jump in with tomatoes. I am doing Carbon Tomatoes by Baker Creek. They need full sun, so here in Texas, they're definitely going to get it. You can start it indoors 6 to 8 weeks before frost and whatnot. We typically sow right into the land just because we don't really get frost here past February. And February is typically our coldest month, so. I'm also doing the German lunchbox, the mortgage lifter, and those are all from Baker Creek. And then the rest of my tomatoes are all from Southern Exposure. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Mr. fumarole, San Marzano tomatoes. These are just Romas, good paste tomatoes. Another paste tomato here. This one is the BC Ganano. I don't know. Probably mispronounced that one. This one's just an Amish paste. I got 2 of those. And I got another Roma. This is the Virginia Select Roma, and this one is, I don't know, just a regular one. I do all of these paste tomatoes for tomato sauce and different tomato products that you don't want to have a lot of liquid, and these are pretty much just for fresh eating. Herbs, we're doing rosemary, parsley, basil, and lemon balm, and a lot of these are in pots or raised beds. We're doing some celery. That's from M.R. Gardner. We're doing top crop beans, blue lake bush beans, and contender beans. These are all going to go into rows. It'll probably be 1, maybe 2 really long rows that are going to be these. And those are all in my gardener as well. We're going to be doing lots of peppers. We love peppers. I love to ferment them, make hot sauce, eat them fresh, can them, whatever. These are pepperoncini, Hungarian wax, the hot banana. And this is from Southern Seed Exposure. Our Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. Jalapenos, serranos, poblanos. This is the Anaheim chili. And then I did a couple, I did the sweet bell pepper, and I did the sweet banana peppers. And those are all from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. These are all organic. I'm also using M.I. Gardner's Grande Rio Verde tomatillos. This will be our first time growing these. They have kind of a citrusy sort of flavor. So I'm not really sure how that's going to go over, but we're going to give that a shot and maybe make some salsa verde. Cucumbers. These are all from Baker Creek. We're doing quite a few different varieties. But like I said, we love to pickle these. We do fresh refrigerator. We do canned. We eat them fresh like crazy. Cucumbers are one thing that is gobbled up in this house. So we have this one here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. It'll be the first time to grow that. The Early Fortune, the Boston Pickling, which is what we use all the time. The Biet Alpha, and then the Parisian Pickling, which we've done before. And the baby was walking around in here, being led by Miss Emmy. We've got 2 different kinds of arugula from Baker Creek, Wild Rocket, and just regular arugula. So that'll be fun. All right, so then we have the Wild Garden mixed lettuce. I have 2 of these. I don't. I have 3 of them. So some of these are going to go in pots. Some of them are going to go in the row. So we'll have these in a couple of different places. What I typically like to do when I have them in the garden is just to kind of mound up a big section by the rows, or like at the tail end of the rows where everything will kind of drain into it, is just do that big mound and then do a bunch of different lettuce leaves, like the Wild Garden lettuce mix, and like arugula and stuff like that all together. Like this little, this oak leaf, the Thai oak leaf lettuce, and just kind of like salad greens as opposed to like a big head. And then do things like romaines and different kind of like the butter crunch things that are gonna head up really pretty. I will do them in rows, separate it out so that they can grow nicely, because these you want to do a 12-inch space between each one so they can just have the space that they need to grow properly. So all of these need 6 to 12 inch of space to separating them. For beans, we're doing the midnight black turtle, black beans, and red kidney beans. We're doing a couple of different kinds of okra. These are the long pod Perkins, and then the Clemson spineless. We also have some seeds from Kevin's uncle, who grows okra for local grocery stores, so we have some of his seed too, which we'll put in the rows. Flowers, in addition to the flowers that I got from the park, I went ahead and snagged up some calendula, which is really good for pest control in the garden, and we'll just put that on the end of some rows. We got mammoth sunflowers because these are so fun, and they're great for pollinators. These are also really good for pollinators, and we like to feed them to the chickens or save seeds from them and makes like sunflower seeds and stuff. Let's see. Oh, and then I got some zinnias because these are so pretty and so great for pollinators and things like that. So we'll have these planted around the garden. The sunflowers are going to get their own section because they're so massive. They're going to block off quite a bit of sun. So they'll be on the very end of the garden, probably facing the chickens, so that if they shade anything at all, it'll just be shading the chickens. And that is my seed haul for the most part. I do have 2 items that I was gifted with my order from Baker Creek, and that's these heirloom seed carrots and this Mitsuna. I've never planted this before, but I mean, we can give it a shot. This is more of a fall thing though, because it is frost hardy. So I mean, I guess I could even plant it now. I don't know what kind of sun it needs. Minimum full sun, 6 to 12 hours. I mean, it might catch 6 hours. In that area, we can give it a shot. It says that it sprouts in 5 to 8 days, so. And then I don't know how long it takes. But it adapted to both extreme heat and cold, so you could do this in the summer too, I'm sure. Which is nice. Ideal tip, 55 to 70. Ooh, definitely only in the spring because this is Texas and we get way above 70 degrees. And then carrots. So we may just freeze those and do them in the fall. I also have some bok choy from them that we planted some of these in the fall, but I may do them in the spring too. They look really yummy. We love this in stir fries, so we got those. And anything we don't use out of these packets, we will store and freeze. Right now I've been keeping them in this bag. It just has like a lining that keeps them temperature controlled and keeps out moisture. So I just keep it in that. I keep them all in here, and then whenever I'm ready to freeze them, once I'm done planting and getting everything set for the garden for the year, I will just probably take them out of that, bag them up into some paper bags, and freeze them. So that's it for my 2023 garden haul. I am so excited to get out there and start putting the fields to work again and getting all of our potted vegetables together and have some new growth out in the garden right now. All we have left is turnips, carrots. Of course, we have garlic and onions out there, which won't be ready until fall or close to. And we have some herbs like cilantro and dill that's still out in the garden. But that's pretty much it. We do also have some romaine lettuce that's still out there, and that's all she wrote for the fall winter garden. The carrots should be ready next month, and we'll pull those. So moving right along. Come on, spring, where you at? All right, well, thanks for coming to the channel today. We hope that you enjoyed our 2023 spring and summer garden seed haul. And if you like what you see, or if you enjoyed it, or if you want to see how it goes here at the homestead in the garden this year for 2023, subscribe and keep coming on over. Bye, till next time.